Welcome to the Novel Universe with your hostesses Ashley and Dawn. We rate and review the newest and most buzzworthy books. We are true book club girls who don't always agree but do enjoy a good book discussion. I'm Ashley, the fantasy architect.
And I'm Dawn, the criticizer of books.
Grab your favorite beverage and come and enjoy our universe.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Novel Universe with your hostesses Ashley and Dawn, and welcome to 2023, a brand new year. I think this is our third year of us podcasting together, so that's cool. We stuck with it. I know a lot of people, their podcasts kind of poop out, but ours has not pooped yet, so yay. And this is also the first podcast where we pick the first book of the year. And what did we pick last year? Was it Iron Widow last year? I feel like it. Yeah, we never start off with a good year, but this year I think we're gonna start off good. This last year was Iron Widow. The year before was freaking Lore. We will not be in the year of the Lore again in 2023. None of that business. And we'll talk about that a little bit later, because we're not really talking about a book today. We're doing something a little bit different, and we're going to talk about some of the stuff that we are excited to read in 2023, and what we're going to be reading for the podcast and for ourselves personally, and what we're reading now. We're going to try and do something a little bit different every now and again, and just kind of, talk about books in general and not just about a specific book. So thank you for joining us for 2023, and let's get the first podcast started of the year.
I know. It's exciting. Yeah. We're starting off on a positive note. I feel like we're claiming it, that it's going to be great this year. So we just kind of wanted to do a little Q&A between Dawn and I, because as you guys know, Dawn is a teen librarian and she's amazing because she literally knows everything about every author that there is out there. And whereas my job doesn't require me to read. I do reading for fun, and it's nice because Dawn and I literally are probably, out of all of our friends, I think her and I are the ones that are pretty consistent with this is what we're reading, let's talk about it. How do you let's chat. So yeah, Dawn, how many books are you going to read in 2023? What is your goal?
Well, I stopped doing the Goodreads goal officially. I stopped that last year. I did not make a goal last year. I usually do. And I'm usually stressed out in December because I have not met my goal. And I have to figure out, do I stress out or do I just not make my goal? And so 2022, I decided to not make a goal, and I read 93 books. And so I will not be making a goal this year. I'm just going to read whatever I want to read, and whatever book I land on number, that's just what it's going to be.
Yeah, I've had to readjust my goal for myself. Just because my life and what I do has totally shifted. So it's I'm not reading as much as I used to be reading, because I'd be 4 or 5 books deep, and it's the second week in a month, and it's fine.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So I personally set my goal for 40 books this year.
Okay.
My to read, if I can, to read 2 books per month, so I'll make it, and I might be a little over, but yeah, I think I'm already 2 books ahead of schedule, because I've already read 2 this month, which is abnormal for me. So I guess it just depends. I think it's because we got stuck with the chunky books. We were in chunky book land for a very long time, Dawn and I were, and it's the books that I've been reading are 300 pages. Maybe 350.
Yeah,
maybe
you've been
4.
into the spicy talk, and I feel like those aren't as thick.
Yeah, they're 300, maybe 4. Maybe 4.
Yeah.
Ashley's not a spicy talk tick. And that's okay, because I'm reading and blasting through them, and I'm loving it, every moment of it.
Yeah.
Okay, next question is, what is our most anticipated book for this year? And I want to know. What are you going to say?
Well, I mean, it's Hellbent. It's Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo. I don't finish a lot of series. And I don't have a lot of like auto author buy. Like some people have like a list of authors that they love and love and love, and they'll buy anything and read anything by them. My list of auto buy is quite short. My list of favorite authors is quite short. So Leigh Bardugo is one of them. I've read all of her books. I've loved all of her books, and so I'm really excited. I love Ninth House, and so that is what I'm excited for.
It's pretty awesome. Yeah. I was actually like, when I was coming questions, I was like, oh my gosh, she's just literally just this is gonna be your answer, like for every single question, because we've had some pretty bad book reads. And I feel like you can bet that Marco, you can, like, that it's gonna be a great experience. You're gonna get the best out of what you're reading.
Yeah.
So for me, also like Hellbent, but I did also put on there, I have really come to love Raven Kennedy's Guild series, the Plated Prisoner series. And her 5th and final book for this series comes out in June. So I'm highly extra excited for that, because I have flown through these books and I haven't done that since like Moss, if you will, like where I'm like invested in like what's happening and the characters and all of that. So yeah, so that's probably my number one, but also, I mean, it might be number 2. Or Dugo's probably number 1 if I had to put money on it.
Yeah,
it's probably going to be a critical read. It's going to have me going, did I really catch all that? Are we sure that that's what's happening? I don't know. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
What are you currently reading?
Well, I'm currently reading Hellbent. I'm currently reading Hellbent. I am a librarian, as Ashley says, and right now we are recording this podcast on January 8th. It doesn't come out until the 10th. And one of the perks of being a librarian is that you can, well, obviously libraries get books early because we have to put it in the calendar, we have to put all the stickers and prepare it to be put on shelves, and so we have it for like a week or so ahead of time. And sometimes I just creep on back there to the place that's called Tech Services. That's where they put all the stuff in the catalog, and I take it before it goes on the shelf, and that's what I did. So it doesn't go out until the 10th, and I saw it back there in Tech Services, and I took it for the weekend, and that's what I'm reading. But I will give it back, because that list, the hold list, is like 60 deep. And so I'm not going to be that person that like holds it up for people. So I will bring it back so that I can go out to the person who's first on the hold list. And then I will buy it on my Kindle. So
she's just having a pre-taste. She's tasting it before she buys. Mm-hmm. I have to wait because I ordered mine and I have to wait until the 10th. So here I am.
Like a peasant. A commoner.
Oh my gosh, it's terrible. I just finished reading Hooked by Emily McIntyre, which is it's not a retelling. Let me repeat, is not a retelling of Peter Pan. It's not at all. There are similar characters, similar just like themes and stuff like that, but it's a little bit darker and a little bit more twisted, and it's a spicy book. So if you've ever fantasized about Hook, now's your chance to read what it would be like to be
I'm just imagining the person who's fantasizing about Hook. I'm pretty sure there are people. I'm pretty sure.
There are. I'm sure there are. So I just finished that one. And then I am starting, what is this one called? Glow, which is the 4th book in my Raven Kennedy series, which I've been waiting for. So, yeah. Yeah, and then we kind of just also wanted to talk to you guys about what we're going to be reading for the next few months for the podcast, so you can kind of, you could read along with us. That would be great. We would love to know what you think about the book and if your feelings are the same, or if you're just wanting to pick up like that familiar book club feel and you can just listen to it and tell us your thoughts.
Yeah.
So our first book is obviously Hellbent. January 24th, we will be recording that pod, and it'll be going out more than likely that week.
Yeah.
For you guys. So,
and
or the week of January.
For those of you who have read Ninth House, but you read it 3 years ago when it first came out, like me, I read it twice. I read the arc, and then I read it again for the podcast. Before Ashley, I had another co-podcaster. Her name was Elise, and we did a read along with Universe, and that is where we take it chapter by chapter, and we do it over a course of like 5 weeks. We break up the book. And I had to go back and re-listen to that podcast because I did not remember anything that happened in Ninth House. So if you're like me and you read the book a long time ago, you can go back through our archives on anywhere where you get your podcasts. I think. Have not. It is definitely on Podbean. It is definitely on there. But we did it in October through December of 2019. So if you're looking through all of our stuff, we have a lot of podcasts on there. So if you're looking through all of our stuff and you want to refresh your memory, you can do that. Or you might be able to find it on the Recaptains website. I think it's recaptains.uk. And it is a website where a group of people recap books for you, and they like really break it down and tell you how it ended. I don't know if Ninth House is on it. They usually are pretty good about the really, really popular books. So you can try that too, just in case you need a refresher and you don't want to reread Ninth House.
Yeah, because it's a lot.
It's a lot.
I feel like it's the first time, like when I read it for the first time, I was like, what just happened? What just happened? Because all of this stuff happened. And then I like, before I joined the podcast, I like re-listened to like your guys' thoughts. I'm like, oh yeah. Oh wait, so like, yeah, I missed that. Oh, and then there's this over here that I completely forgot about. So it's definitely something worth doing because Bardugo does not just put something on a page. It actually matters. So this isn't like flighty books that you can just kind of skim on through. There's no skimming. It's a there's every word in there, man. And of course, so we're going to be doing that one for January, and then for February, we are going to be reading Chain of Thorns by the beloved Cassandra Clare. Because let's be honest, Dawn and I have actually read book 1 and book 2 of that Chain of Gold series. No, it's Chain of Thorns. I'm so sorry. Chain of Thorns is what we're going to be reading in February. And then March, we are going to be reading From Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I have read book 1. Dawn has not read it yet, but it is something that it is a book that it's starting to get very popular. So Dawn hasn't read it yet, and I was like, we should read that. It'd be a good idea.
It's a TikTok sensation.
It is. Okay, and then for April...
You missed one.
Did I miss one?
The Perfect Marriage?
Oh my god. Yep. Perfect Marriage for March.
I have to say, okay, so the reason why we chose this is because if you're on TikTok, there's an author, the author of this book, Geneva Rose. She has been putting some guy who reviewed her book on blast. I know we talk about all the time how reviews are for readers, authors should not be in that space. But this guy emailed his review to her, and all she did was say, "Thank you, have a blessed day." But he continues to email her and tell her how bad her book is, and she does not respond negatively. That's not a word. She doesn't respond negatively. She just puts it on. She puts his emails on TikTok, and she just like, here's what Tom had to say today. And she doesn't say anything bad. And I'm enjoying the hell out of it. So that's why we chose to read this book.
I have yet to hear anything about this book, but when Dawn was sharing that, I was like, well, it's got to be good, you know? Some easy PR for her.
Yeah, exactly.
In that capacity. Okay, and then for April, I apologize. I think I am missing April.
Divine Rivals.
Yep.
By Rebecca
That's
Ross.
by Rebecca Ross. And also for those who have read The Bone Shard Daughter, just so you know, Bone Shard War comes out in April as well. I'm a huge fan of that.
I'm not.
I will be reading it by myself. And then in May, we have Happy Place by the Emily Henry, who we all know writes pretty cozy, romantic books. And we're excited because honestly, they're decent. She's not Christina Lauren, and I'm very glad about that.
I've only read one of her books, so I don't know if I would call her awesome. But I mean, I didn't hate it. Will we read The People We Met in the Summertime? What's the name of that book? Them People We Met at the Beach.
People We Met on Vacation.
The People We Met on Vacation. That was, it was okay. I think I gave it a 4. I don't know. It was okay.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, you can guarantee it's going to be like a cozy,
yes,
you know, comfortable romance, whatever. And then I'm super excited because the next book that we're going to read in June is called Lessons in Chemistry, and Barnes & Noble's named it its #1 book of the year, so for 2022. So we are going to be reading that. And then we have our last set of books come out in July, and we're going to read The Office BFFs by Angela Kinsey and oh my gosh, what's her name? Pam. Yeah.
Pam Beasley.
Angela and Pam.
Jenna Marbles? That's not her name. Jenna something.
Or whatever her last name is. I apologize. But we're going to be reading that, and we're super excited about it because June and July for the book world is not enjoyable in any capacity because everyone is anticipating reads that are coming out mainly end of August, September is when the newest ones drop. So Dawn and I are always fishing for books, and we had deemed our summer months to be like our romance books, and Dawn and I got into some weird books the last few years, so we're hoping i.e. our Dollar General $5 romance steamy book that we did that one.
We did a couple spicy talks. Well, they weren't spicy talks yet because TikTok wasn't that big of a thing, but we did read some spicy books.
Yeah, for sure. But that one was. Listen to our podcast on it.
Bare to You?
I think it was called Bare to You or Rising Dawn. No, it was something with dawn in it because you're.
Okay, well, the dollar store one had the word dawn in it, but I don't think that was in the summertime. I think that was, I don't know. But it was the Bared to You series where we were like, whoa, I think we're out of our depth.
A little
Once
bit.
They started getting into the butt stuff, we were like, uh-oh, hot dog. You probably don't get that reference, sorry. That's from Mad TV. Hot dog.
No, I was comment on like how Dawn and I literally couldn't find another word for pubes.
Oh, yeah. Curls. It was called Curls in the book. Yeah.
How can you not say the curls? Like, let's find another.
Curls.
It's so bad. It was so bad. So anyway, we want to know, universe, what are you guys reading? Drop us a comment. Listen to our next podcast. If you are a Leigh Bardugo fan, which you all should be at this point in time. I'm sorry if you're not, but you need to be. Her tribe is vast. We are super excited to critique this book, and Dawn and I literally don't talk about it until the podcast, so super excited to see what's going to happen. So, until next time, guys, we'll catch you in the next podcast.
Bye-bye.